It was good, YouTube. It's your boy Gabe Live. Welcome back to another YouTube video. And if you're a new subscriber, thank you for watching the video. And sure to like the video. And if you want to subscribe and get more notifications, turn the post notifications on. Pretty much what you guys saw earlier for the first about 4 or 5 minutes of this video was pretty much my routine. Emphasis on my routine for how my day starts. I mean, I wake up, of course, being disoriented and not sure if I want to go to work, but I'm like, you know what, screw it, let's go get the bag and make this money. But then there's also the duty to do as well. But initially, I'm like, oh God, it's a morning. I'm not really a morning person. If you know me, you know I'm not a morning person. I'm a morning person. I'm not a morning person, and I just like keeping to myself. I like being quiet. And not doing anything. In fact, my girl, I told her, I was like, hey, initially when I first started dating, she was like all talking and trying to be all, because she's a morning person. I was like, I'm not a morning person, so no offense, but like, don't say nothing to me. I just want to be quiet, and that's it. After that, of course, I started with some yoga session because you have to like clear your mind. The first thing some people do when they wake up is like get on their phone, social media, things like that. Me, for example, I use my phone for my alarm clock, and that's about it. I don't do anything else. I like being away from social media. In fact, at this moment, it is like 10 o'clock, and I have still not opened social media yet. But I will eventually. And the reason why I'm picking it is like the reason why that is important is because for someone like myself who posts on social media a lot, I'm just saying it is okay to take a break and have a moment to yourself, especially in the morning, whereby you can think clearly and figure out what you're going to do for the rest of the day. Oh, also, I really apologize for my background and it's being the way it is right now. I don't think the sun is that bright currently where I'm at. I have gone around from where I was, where the sun was a lot. I've also come around to where right behind me there's a tree. I don't know if you guys can see, but right behind me there's a tree. And I've done everything to try and like kind of like revert this, but it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And it just makes me feel the whole background is bright. What I need is an ND filter, and what the ND filter would do, it would go bright on this thing right here and help it make it better for me to I'm sure during daylight like this, because for some reason the lens is really strong and the daylight is really affecting it a lot. So yeah, pretty much that's how my day starts. Do my yoga session. I did not get a chance to eat this morning, but I did take a protein shake with me, and yes, I know I ate a girly cup. It's not mine, but it gets the job done. It's not mine, but it gets the job done. I put my protein shake in there, and of course, as I showed earlier, I have my lunch. I have like my second lunch. But basically, I have like a bunch of protein bars and protein snack. I always take as well because I need to have my protein intake high as well. I got my water, and that's pretty much it. So me making this video about my daily life as an army officer can be weird for some people because I am currently in the National Guard. And if you know anything about the National Guard, is National Guard guys work part-time, not full-time. Well, that's not always true. So what is that? What is the full-time soldier? A full-time soldier is like an active duty soldier that is on orders, working at a major active duty station, for example, for Cavazos, for Moore, for Lee, things like that. That is an active duty soldier. You have a contract and you have to be there for the whole time of your contract, whatever, right? Well, National Guard soldier is more of a part-time soldier. So instead of they call them some people try to call them weekend warriors. So as opposed to being a full-time soldier working Monday to Friday, you're gonna be a National Guard and you only show up whenever your unit needs you in your drills. So that's usually like maybe one weekend a month. That can be like on a Thursday to like Saturday to like Sunday. It can be from Friday to Sunday. It can be from Saturday to Sunday. Heck, sometimes it's just Saturday. And that's pretty much how your unit dictates. But usually, whenever you do have that drill, is once a month. It can be for 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. But usually, when you do it, is once a month. Once a month, and once in a year, you have to do an AT. An AT is an annual training, and it lasts for about 2 or 2.5 weeks, or even 3 weeks sometimes. That said, I'm in the National Guard, so I shouldn't be doing full-time, right? However, that's not always true. Sometimes you get to be full-time in National Guard by being on something called active duty orders. Active duty orders just pretty much allows you to be active duty and get the benefits of an active duty person, the pay of an active duty person, all of the things that active duty personnel would enjoy. You also get a chance to enjoy that as well, even though you're the National Guard. Also, you have the thing called AGR. AGR is like an active guard reserve. So you pretty much get to work full-time. However, you are in the National Guard still, and you still report to your National Guard unit. However, you get to work full-time, get the benefits of a full-time person at active duty, and you're good to go. So you don't have to be active duty to be active duty, if you know what I mean. So yeah, pretty much one of those active duty orders is what I am currently on. I am currently in active duty orders, and my job so far as the OIC has been to be in charge of the transportation of personnel that is coming back from deployment, as well as getting the barracks and ensuring they have lodging for this whole period of time that they're gonna be here for. I got thirsty, y'all. I had to drink some water, and pretty much I think I have like 5 more days of this active duty orders. I began like a week and a half ago, so I'm basically a week and a half into all of this. I will say this is probably like my first actual command. This is my first time I've actually been given charge and allowed to make command. I'm in charge of soldiers. Getting it done. The job is going well. I'm getting it done. I cannot show you my full time and what I'm doing like every single moment when I'm speaking to my soldiers, having a little report, team lunch, things like that. I can't really show all of that moments. Pretty much what I've been doing so far as an army officer. I am the OIC. So I'm the OIC, but I also have an NCOIC, and I have my soldiers, about 4 of them, and we've all been working together. But mostly, I'm my NCOIC working together, planning transportation of the people from to their appointments, whether it's finance, whether it's dental, medical, things like that, whether it's pay issues and things like that. So we're trying to get all of that done, and we're still trying to figure out transportation for them to different areas as well. So that's basically one of our biggest jobs right now. But pretty much, yeah. Enough yapping. I've been in this vehicle for a long time. But yeah, pretty much enough yapping. I've been in the vehicle for a long time. I have a meeting I gotta go attend in like about like 20 minutes. The place is like 5 minutes away, so I'm not rushing. I'm gonna go over there right quick and go see the guy and coordinate some more planning. Meet him like a warrant officer. By the way, if you didn't know, I am a commissioned officer in the army. However, you don't have to be a commissioned officer to be an officer. You can also be a warrant officer. Basically, we have non-commissioned officers, which are your NCOs, your E5s, your sergeants, things like that. Then you have your warrant officers, and you call them misters, you call them chiefs, things like that. And you have me, who is a commissioned officer, and then I'm a second lieutenant right now. This is what a second lieutenant's rank look like. It's a butter bar, as you can see it, as I have one on my chest, and I have one right here on my head. And I'm a second lieutenant, and we go into the ranks of like first lieutenants, captain, major, things like that, and then you go from there. This has always been like a major dream of mine. I'm gonna speak about that in a different video about how I went through OCS and become an officer. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and attend this meeting and probably have some lunch, and we'll go from there. All right, I'm good to go. The meeting was a success. We were able to like discuss a whole bunch of stuff. Like I said again, I apologize for my background. Something is definitely wrong. My lens is fine. I just need an ND filter, and the ND filter would automatically pretty much help in making sure the rays and the brightness of the sun, even just the little daylight right here, is not shooting all the way into the lens. I just need to get an ND filter and be fine. So pretty much today is pretty much kind of over. The meeting was a success. We had to coordinate a lot of plans with transportation. We had to did I get blurry? I think I got kind of blurry. Anyways, we had to coordinate, had to meet with the chief. We had to like coordinate some plans for transportation of some soldiers back to their home station, as well as to the airports for those that have to worry about that. And we have to also worry about dropping off some of the vehicles as well. There's a whole lot going on. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of it all, but the meeting was a success. Basically, we're trying to make sure these guys are getting all cleared out of the barracks and everything, hopefully by around either tomorrow or the next day after that. And that's pretty much it. The meeting was a success. But then again, as an officer, you gotta remember you are not doing this work by yourself. Do not ever think you're doing it by yourself. In fact, if anything that you get from this, you have your NCOs. Use your NCOs. They are there to help you out. Use them. As soon as I'm able to coordinate with the chief and get some information and let him know what my guys plan on doing as well, we're good to go. And I mentioned that same information to my NCOIC, which is gonna disperse that. It's gonna give that same information to the lower ranking soldiers. I have some specialists with me, and I have some privates with me that are gonna be working as well. It's been kind of busy the whole time, but this is gonna make it like one of the most busiest weeks so far. In the terms of like, there's a whole lot going on. There's a lot of moving pieces around, transportation, vehicles, and making sure everybody is good to go and gets to their location. Is that Neville? Uh, there's, there's a guy called Neville I was in active duty with, and I'm just seeing him like, it looks exactly like him. I don't know if you know, he has a brother, but he has a brother. So one thing you have to realize as an officer is there's this thing called SITREPs. SITREPs are situation reports. And situation reports is pretty much you just letting your higher ups know what exactly is going on, what you've been doing, and how far you've done it, or what exactly you plan on doing. And you gotta relay that up to your higher ups as well. You have to give SITREPs. It doesn't have to be daily, but you know, it can be daily, but it doesn't have to be daily. But depending, it can be daily, but depending on the situation, it does not have to be daily. But after doing that, I sent out my higher ups. I sent out my company's first sergeant, sent out my company's commander, and get this ball rolling, man. Because I'm not in this by myself. And pretty much that's that about that. At this moment, I think I am done. I am extremely starving. It is currently 11:34. Last time I spoke to you guys, were like 10 something, right? It's only 11:34, and it's time to go eat. I believe that is my first sergeant. Actually, he texted me just now. So I can to do a day trip to Canada. So yeah, there you go. I have some things I have to go handle as well. But I'm gonna try and get some food in first though. I have my luncher with me. I'm pretty sure after this I'm just gonna head home. And after that I'm just gonna go work out and stuff. But yeah, that is pretty much how it's been so far. I'll let you guys know in the next clip whatever happens again. Alright, so I'm currently at North for Hood, and I am my NCOIC actually. NCOIC is the NCO in charge, like I said earlier, and we have to go pick up some sensitive equipment from Austin, and it's part of our stuff that we need to deliver over in Dallas and all. Like I said, I was thinking I was done for the day. In my head, I was like, yeah, I'm done for the day. I'm about to go chill, stay on standby, and we're gonna relax. Well, if there's one thing the army would teach you is you gotta stay fluid. One thing you're gonna learn about the army is you have to stay fluid. And as an officer, just gotta be ready for it. And one thing that you would learn if you're in the army, or if you're new to the army, one thing that you will learn if you're new to the army or if you plan on joining the army is you have to stay fluid. Be ready to move at any point in time. And I was thinking that okay, I'm done for the day. My job is done. Task accomplished. And my first sergeant texted me, and then I was like, oh, I gotta go pick up some sensitive equipment from Austin that is to be taken to Dallas tomorrow. So there is that as well. So right now I'm just waiting for him to come outside, and we'll be on our way and to pick this up. And back from Austin McCoy now. Austin. Today we had to go get some sensitive equipment like I mentioned. I was trying my best to make sure I got to Austin as early as possible and come back on time, because if you stay around the Austin, Texas area, you know that traffic is nothing to play with. So today was pretty fun. This is pretty much what it has been like for the past 2 weeks now. Today is the 21st of October. I got 5 days left on my orders for this active duty orders. It's been pretty fun working with the demobilization team and getting them, through doing the OR process and everything like that. Just pretty much being the supports and the OIC for the support team for the demob team. This has been pretty much fun. I enjoyed it. For my first actual taking command and being in charge, as well as planning, organizing, linking up with other higher ups, sending situational reports to higher ups, and discussing with my NCOIC as well as soldiers. It was pretty much fun. One of the things I got a chance to do that you guys did not see was I got a chance to list my soldiers and have a team lunch, and that was pretty fun. The team lunch was really helpful because it helped with getting me to learn about my soldiers better, know who they are. And I'm 30 years old, right? And I was speaking to my other soldiers. My NCOIC was like 23. The others were like 20. There was 19. I was like 25. I was like, dang. It's crazy how time flies. When I joined the army, I was like 23 in 2019. And now crazy how time flies since then. Now I'm 30 years old. If I really feel kind of old, not gonna lie, but yeah, it's what it is. We all get old eventually. They all get old too. So it is what it is. We didn't hurt nobody. We got older. Screw it. What's going faster than them though? Anyways, the team lunch was really a nice little bonding moment. Get your soldiers to know you better, as well as getting the chance for my soldiers to for as well as getting the chance for me to know my soldiers. I got a chance to know what they do on the civilian side. I got a chance to learn about their skills on the civilian side and what they can and can't do, their limits, and basically their history in the army, how long they've been in the army, what they've been to, active duty and not active duty, if you're brand new, things like that. One was really brand new. So that was fun. So if you get a chance and you're in a position of leadership and you're like either an NCO or if you're a whatchamacallit now, officer in charge, if you're not even there and if you're just like a specialist, I think it's always nice to like have like a little team meeting and or some kind of like maybe like with sports. It helps out a lot with team bonding and helping. I will say the team lunch and everything I've done from the past week, as well as learning to know my guys better, it's really helped with everything. One of the things they told me about was communication. That I was really one of the, if you've been in the army for a little bit, you know one of the biggest issues we have in the army is communicating. For some reason, information is never disseminated right and disseminated as fast and as effective as it should be. And it's one of the major issues that several soldiers have with leadership. And one of my job is like I told myself, look, no matter where I am, even as a second lieutenant to whenever I make captain or whatever, I'm gonna set the standard for better communication. And there's been way better communication. Everything is moving smoothly. My students appreciate that they know what is going on. They have an idea of how to plan ahead, and not And there wasn't like anything last minute popping up. But of course, again, then again, it's in the army. You gotta stay fluid. Just like today, at like 11:30, I was ready to go home because I was like, okay, I've done what I need to do. The meeting is over. We've discussed information disseminated to lower ranking as well as the higher ups as well. So I was like, it's time to go home and get out of here. And next thing I know, my first sergeant calls me. He's like, hey, you need to come pick up this sensitive equipment from Austin. So I had to coordinate my NCO. We both went to watch McCoy now. Austin grabbed that and came back home. And now it is 5:20. It is 5:20 and I still have the gym to go to as well. The day is not over yet. But that's pretty much what my day has been so far. A lot of planning. We didn't have enough guys, so I had my NCO. I had to go to Austin. I, it would have been a job of me just dedicating to somebody else, but we literally had nobody else, and I wasn't gonna let him go by himself to Austin. Sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty even as an officer. So just know that sometimes you do have to get your hands dirty as an officer. Just because you're an officer does not mean you don't get to do anything. It doesn't mean you get to just boss people around and tell them what to do. Sometimes it's always nice for your guys to see you actually getting in the mix, getting the job done. But your job is not that. It's not to just get in the mix. Your job is to do the planning, do everything to make sure the execution happens. However, it does not hurt also for you to get your hand in the mix. You're just seeing that goes a whole long way as well. Um, what else do I have to add before I feel like I've been yapping a lot. I'm about to go eat right now. I'm pretty tired. I'm about to go eat right now. I'm gonna try to eat and then rest a little bit and then head to the gym. If you're an officer or a leader in the army and your physical fitness is not up to a level and it's just like the bare minimum, you need to do better. I'm sorry. You just gotta do better. When people think of soldiers, they think of like, okay, these guys are physically fit, mentally fit. We don't have to be perfect, but we do have to be at least physically fit and ready for the mission at all times. So for me, 5 days a week in the gym. Yeah, you already know my YouTube, nothing about fitness and stuff. So nothing new there. One last thing I was gonna add real quick. There's things like dry erase boards, but I never had a chance to have dry erase boards. So guess what I use? I use my iPad and just wrote everything down. I use my regular notes app and wrote everything down as well. Look, being able to adapt to your situation is the best way sometimes. Usually we have like a dry erase board, and what a dry erase board usually does is for you to like, okay, know the plan, have it written out, and then you know, okay, this is the plan, this is when it's gonna be, this is where it's gonna be, this is why we're doing it, and what we're gonna be doing. It's always nice to have that board up, and that's cool. However, sometimes that is not a situation, like in my situation, there was no chance for a dry erase board. So guess what I use? Is my iPad and I use my notes app, adapting and executing regardless. But that's it for this little rant session. I do gotta go eat. My girl's eating right now. We're trying to get our carbs up before we go to the gym because today is leg day. Let's get it, baby. And after that, that will pretty much have been my day in life as an officer. If you've gotten to this part of the video, I hope you're enjoying so far, and keep watching and try to subscribe to the video. More clips come up.
Welcome back to my video. This pretty much kind of like wraps up my day. I usually end my day with back going to the gym, of course. And if you got into this part of the video, ensure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications for more content coming up. If you see my voice being acting up, is because I've been It's been a whole lot of working and a whole lot of things, and I guess my voice kind of got stressed out. But anyways, today is on my gym day, and at this point today I was training leg day, and the way I usually start my leg day, is of course some warm ups, some stretches that you guys I didn't get a chance to record. I stretch properly and I warm up properly just because I want to avoid all chances of injuries. And then I start my day with either like a sprint or go to squat straight. So I did both today. Actually, started with some of my sprints, and then I went ahead to go lift some quote unquote heavy weight. Right here, I'm actually squatting 315 pounds. Before I got up to these 315 pounds, I had done a whole lot of quote unquote warm up sets. Reason why I was saying quote unquote is because 315 pounds might be quite heavy for some people. Technically, sometimes for myself as well, count it is kind of heavy. But today, I was trying to get to a top set, and what a top set pretty much means is it doesn't necessarily have to be a PR. It just means the weight you want to kind of like go heavy with today. And for today, the weight I wanted to go heavier with, heaviest with, I think was 335 pounds. I'm not sure if I did a different set and I just didn't record it, of 340 or 345 pounds, because after doing the math, while editing this video, I was like, dang, I could have just gone ahead and done 340, maybe 350 pounds. But then that might be me pushing it for not necessarily a PR. My PR is like 420 pounds. But I was just trying to like get back into the routine because if I'm being honest, the last time I did 420 pounds was a while back. So if I was going to go for PR today, right now in my current state, I think I can push for 385 pounds probably. And no, I did my 335 for like 2 reps. And once I was done doing that, the way my routine works is I eat my working set or I eat my top set. After eating my top set, I go straight into my working set. And my working set is pretty much what you guys are seeing right now. My working set is pretty much the 75%. The way the math works is you want to do 75% or 80% of whatever it is your top set is for that day. Since my top set was at 335 pounds, I decided to do like a 75% working set. And the working set will involve me doing about 4 sets of about, say, five, six, seven, if possible, 8 reps of 4 sets. Yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun after you've been picking up heavy weight the whole time. So doing the math over here, I'm seeing I have 225 plus 40 on both sides. That's 265. So I had 265 pounds on the bar, and that qualifies for I think either 75%, 80%, or maybe just a little bit, just a little smidge bump, whatever. I did 5 reps on this particular set. I did 6 the first time, and I did the second time, and by the third time, which is what you guys are seeing right here, I was spent. I was like, I can only do 5 reps, and after doing this for 4 sets, I'm not gonna lie, the squats have pretty much knocked me out. I was pretty much done. Even she was tired. But the next thing I had to do was some leg extensions. Actually, to be correct, I just didn't record this. What we did afterwards for Bulgarian splits. And if you guys have not seen Bulgarian splits, well, pretty much you just put one leg on the bench and you put one leg on the outside, and you can't like do a quote unquote lunge. But the lunge is not, it's not really called a lunge. It's called a Bulgarians. It's just called Bulgarians. I did that with weight for like 80 pounds on both legs, and then immediately I did a superset without the weight. And when I tell you, when I tell you I got a mad burn than I've ever gotten before, yeah, yeah, I got a mad burn. What's McCoy now? And this is me trying to like adjust the camera, so you guys can see a different angle of my leg extensions. During my leg extensions, I try to do a thing called holds. So if you notice the way I'm moving my legs up and down, I'm not just moving up and down. If you count with me, 1, 2, see, 1, 2. I try my best at least to hold it for, because that weight is already kind of heavy for me. At least it was because my knee was kind of hurting, or because I've been squatting a lot. But whenever I do my leg extensions, I try my best to hold it at the top for about 2 seconds. Don't mind me here. This is me just coming to the camera looking at it. Look at those juicy pumpers, juicy big legs. Pause. But yeah, that was just me doing my little, what should we call it now, flexing. One of my friends and I were considering going for a bodybuilding show. So that'd be fun to see. And I did leg extensions, I did calf raises after that, and I did some other accessories as well. When you say accessories, accessories just pretty much means all those other workout that you do besides your, let's say, your compound lift, like leg curl, leg extensions, things like that. Those are called accessories. And whenever I finish, I like to inculcate some kind of athletic training into my workout. Sometimes I do a sprint suicide with her. Sometimes I do like a sprint relay. Sometimes I just watch my quick now stretch. I do box jumps. If we're not doing box jumps, we're doing CrossFit. And right here we're doing the drag. In the army we call it a sprint drag carry. Right here I'm not carrying any kettlebells. I'm not doing the laterals. But what that the idea involves pretty much is you're supposed to like push about 245-pound plates. And right here, I mean, clearly it was not heavy for me because I can go heavier. But I was trying to push for speed and on the drags anyways. I was trying to push for speed, and well, maybe next time she can go a little lower. And the plan is once you push your sled to the end and you come back with the sled, you're supposed to like sprint forward and sprint backward. Not sprint backward, but rather go back and forth sprinting. And that was my definition of sprinting because my legs are pretty much cooked at the point. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up my video. I hope you guys have been enjoying this video so far. And if you like more content from me about other stuff as well, I'm related, let me know. And if you have any questions in the comment section, let me know. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications so you can get alerted whenever I post again. Until next time, peace and love, Gabe Lab.